I was surprised how ineffective Houston's offense was, credit to the Jets defense. But to me, this Texans offense has kind of run a little bit because of the lack of depth. They've run out of gas a little bit. And I hate to think that, to me, I don't think Indianapolis, Pittsburgh, or Houston are playoff teams. I think Denver, Buffalo, and Cincinnati are better playoff options.
Well, and it's interesting you say that because the AFC playoff picture is pretty crazy to look at right now. We'll pull it up on the screen. You've got Cleveland there in the first wild card slot at 8-5, but Texans, Steelers, Colts, Broncos, Bengals, Bills, all 7-6. And I think this could present an interesting betting opportunity because all of those teams are favored to the no. So there's a lot of plus money out there if you pick the right other teams to make that wild card, to make the playoffs. Like, there's money to be made there if you pick the right teams.
No question. And I think, to me, what you should start off with, like anything that you're picking, you just have to start off with eliminating. I don't see the Colts, unless they improve defensively, I don't see the Colts being able to be a consistent playoff team. But their schedule is so favorable, you can't ignore them. I don't see the Texans, especially if Stroud misses games, being a legitimate playoff team. Their schedule favors them, so you've got to balance the two. I like Buffalo to come back. I thought all Buffalo needed for me was a split between Kansas City and Dallas. They got that. They can still get to 10 wins. Challenging, but they could. I think Cincinnati yesterday proved something to me by the dominating second half. I mean, look, they gave up the pick six at the end of the first half, which was a killer and got the team tied up. But then Browning was very good in the game, the rest of the game. And Chase Brown gives them another element as a runner. And their defense played their best game since week 4 against the Cardinals. So that was impressive. And Denver just is a hard team to play, right? Denver's a hard team to play because they're not going to give you the game. They gave it to Houston last week. They weren't giving it away this week. And then, of course, they were able to, once Herbert got out, that was it. And so that was the end of the season. I mean, look, the Raiders had every opportunity to win that game yesterday. The Hunter Renfrow fumble. They couldn't move the ball. I think what we're seeing from the Raiders is the Aiden O'Connell experiment has kind of run its course, right? Yep. He's living off the gas fumes of preseason, right? It's a little bit like we saw with Dorian Robinson-Thompson, although they integrated him within the offense this week. But there's just not anything there. They really, that game, if you want to criticize, I mean, he should have gone to Garoppolo in the game. Really, he should have put Garoppolo in the game and gave the team a chance to win because they were never going to score points.
Yeah, and it's when you're in week 14, you can't be living off of preseason and what you did then. That's just not how it works in the National Football League. And I feel like every time I looked up and caught a glimpse of the Raiders game on my TV, I was like, God, like, he looks bad.
Why didn't he? I mean, give O'Connell credit. He changed. And O'Connell was very clear. He said, hey, look, I want to give Dobbs as many chances as I can, but if this is a close game and we're not playing well, I'm going to change quarterbacks. I didn't understand where did Aiden O'Connell become this legendary great player that he wasn't going to get challenged to not play?
Michael, they haven't seen enough. Haven't seen enough, right? That's how it works. To give a little
we'll see.
To give a little betting context to some of those teams that we just ran down in the playoff picture, though, Buffalo -145 to the no, +115 yes if they're able to make their way in. Cincinnati -350 no, +270 price if you think they can work their way in. Maybe we got a quarterback controversy in Cincinnati with the two JB initial guys. I mean, it's been Jake Browning. It's been fun to watch. We thought they were dead in the water when Burrow went down, and he's really helped put things together. And the Broncos, -155 no, +125 to the yes. They're 6-1 their last 7 games. NFL high 18 takeaways during that span, including 2 yesterday. And now, like, only 1 game back in the AFC West from the Kansas City Chiefs. The turnaround has been remarkable. And because you did mention the Justin Herbert of it all, too, at 5-8, the Chargers, Herbert fractures his index finger in the game, potentially a season-ending injury from that standpoint. So just another bad look for Brandon Staley, who, like I mentioned earlier, you feel for the ownership group that could have had Sean Payton, who was over there on the other sideline yesterday.
Go to VSiN.com/subscribe to become a VSiN Pro subscriber today.